Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys episode 3 of Vlogmas. In my first Vlogmas, I told you guys I had to detox because I did a little bit too much for Thanksgiving. Detox was successful. My head is not nearly as swollen as it was before, so it definitely did work. So the next step of that really is to get back in the habit of eating healthy and not eating chocolate cake every day. So today I'm just going to be doing some meal prep. Normally I do about 2 meals at a time, and I do enough to last me up until Wednesday, because usually by Wednesday I don't want the same thing. Like, I'm gonna want something different. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this video. It does not contain any macros, so you're all good there. If you want macros in these types of videos going forward, just let me know. But for now, let's get cooking. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is bake some chicken, because when I say I'm eating healthy, I'm either eating baked chicken or salmon, but this week is gonna be baked chicken. I'm just seasoning this with a little bit of seasoning salt, garlic powder, black pepper, and a little bit of rosemary. Feel free to use the seasonings of your choice, but that is my seasoning for this particular week. Next week it might be something totally different. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to the pan before I cover it, just so the chicken doesn't stick, and then I'm going to pop it into a 400-degree oven for about 35 minutes on this initial pass. I'm gonna set my timer just so I don't forget to check in on it at 35 minutes. While my chicken is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and start on these green beans. These are gonna be my sides with the chicken. I'm gonna air fry these, so that's why you see me adding the olive oil and then just a little bit of salt and pepper. Once I get them tossed up in the seasonings and olive oil, I'm gonna throw this in my air fryer. I just guesstimated at the time. To be honest, I just used the broccoli setting, which is 10 minutes at 380. They came out the way I wanted them. Sometimes I want them a little bit more burnt, and I may put them back in the air fryer when I get ready to eat this, and reheat it and crisp them up a little bit more. But for now, I think we're good. Now our chicken is done, so what I did after 35 minutes, I just uncovered the chicken for about 10 more minutes so it could get a little color on it, and this is the end result. This is our first meal that we have prepped for this week. It's pretty cold this week, so I'm going to start prepping some vegetable soup, and we are going to make a giant pot of it. Whatever we don't eat, we will freeze. So right now I'm just browning some mild Italian turkey sausage. It's a little dry, so I'm adding some olive oil because, you know, turkey doesn't have as much fat in it as the beef does. But we're just gonna go ahead and get this browned up and set over to the side. Now I'm gonna get my veggies going. I don't really like to chop a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna cheat the system and use some frozen veggie soup mix. Typically I like to use the one without potatoes. They didn't have that, so this is what we're working with. I'm gonna put these on high and leave it partially covered and let those get tender. Once the veggies are tender, I'm gonna go ahead and add my meat to the pot along with a few other things, because now it's time to turn this veggie broth into actual vegetable soup. So first I'm gonna go in with the ground sausage that we browned earlier and all of the drippings to help season the pot. Then I'm gonna add a can of fire roasted tomatoes. I personally prefer to use the fire roasted tomatoes because I think they taste a lot better than like tomato paste or just plain old like diced tomatoes. So fire roasted is definitely where it's at. Gives the soup another depth of flavor. Next, I'm gonna add in a can of beans. You can use whatever kind of beans you like. Just make sure you're adding the beans as well as the juice, because this is gonna help to build out the actual base of the soup and give it some additional flavor. And I'm just gonna mix that in the same way that I did the fire roasted tomatoes. Lastly, I'm gonna season my pot. Y'all know Lowry seasoning salt was gonna make an appearance, as it always does. Next, I'm gonna put some garlic powder because you just need it. And then lastly, I'm gonna add in a little bit of oregano. I add in some honey just to give it a little bit of a sweet element. And then lastly, my favorite thing, crushed red pepper flakes, because I like for it to be a little spicy. And lastly, you pretty much just stir it up and it's ready to serve. And this time I'm using my glass meal prep containers that I got from Amazon, because sometimes when you heat this up it does boil a little bit. I just felt so safer putting it in the glass meal prep container versus the plastic one. But if your plastic ones are, you know, pretty tough, then you shouldn't have an issue. I'm gonna prep my naan. So instead of having cornbread and vegetable soup, I'm gonna use some naan just because I wanted to try it. I'm gonna toast it up because pretty much that's what it said to do in the package. I've never had it before, so this is the first time for me. But as I'm filming this video, I can tell y'all it's pretty good. Like, I enjoy it. So I cut one naan in half, and that'll make me feel like I have 2 slices instead of 1. But yeah, guys, this is the second meal. So we have some vegetable soup with some toasted naan on the side. And these are my 2 meals that are gonna get me through the week. I'll have one for lunch and one for dinner. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.